So good to see you this hot Saturday summer solstice afternoon. I'm glad you're with me. I'm glad you found the page. I was just kind of jamming along. And thanks, Shelton. Glad you're here. Hope y'all can hear okay. As always, give me a comment. Let me know if it sounds okay. I'm playing this old guitar today, and I hadn't heard how it sounds yet through Facebook Live because I was playing my authentic and the string broke at 3:58. So luckily I had this sitting nearby and it has fresh strings on it, so it might be a little bright. But welcome. This is the third guitar hangout, and I'm psyched to be here. I've been really enjoying spending these weekend afternoons with y'all. I'm learning something, you're learning something, we're learning together, we're picking together. It's especially hot today, which means it feels good just to hang out in the air conditioning and play some guitar together. So I decided to choose Big Spike Hammer today, and for bluegrassers, that's an oldie but goodie. Of course, the Osborne brothers originally recorded that back in 1965. And it's written by Bobby Osborne and Pete Goebel and Tony Rice, who we've been working on lately. Recorded it with the Bluegrass Album Band in 1983 in Volume 3. So if you're joining us from outside bluegrass, Tony Rice is a guitar icon. He hails from North Carolina. Well, he lives in North Carolina, and he's inspired generations of pickers. That makes it sound like he's old. He's not. He was just on the scene pretty young, in his 20s, and in the late 70s and 80s, he hit the scene hard and put out multiple albums in various genres, many in bluegrass. We've been working lately, the past 3 weekends, on some Bluegrass Album Band material because it's a great jumping off point for checking out some Tony Rice phrasing in the bluegrass style. And I think if you're from outside bluegrass, I think you're going to still learn a lot today because there are musical concepts that spread across genres. So we'll dive on in. And for those of you who are just joining the live, I will play the solo again. I was warming up on it when we opened up here. I hope everybody's doing healthy. Not caught the virus, and if you have, I hope you've recovered. Actually, my sister-in-law, we just realized, had the coronavirus in March and didn't even know it. So luckily, she is healthy. And it turns out my brother never even got it. They're able to see if you've ever had it. So I don't know how that works. A husband and wife, the wife had it, the husband never got it. I guess my brother has a great immune system, so hopefully that means I do too. Okay, so Big Spike. The form's a little different here. So we're going to, let's see, back it up to, where shall we back it up? When I hear the 5 chord, I know where the chorus is going to start. So let's talk about the chords. And actually, I'll play it a few times for those who are just joining. Solo. I thought y'all would really get a kick out of this today. The phrasing's a tiny bit more intuitive because Tony, he takes some little pauses to let us know where we are. The past 2 weekends, last weekend we did Blue Ridge Cabin Home, and the weekend before that we did Your Love is Like a Flower. and those are rapid eighth notes all in a row. So it's a little harder to hear the phrasing. So, so let's thank Tony for giving us this really cool solo. And let's go through the chords. They're a little funny. Make sure you put your capo on 4. We're in the key of B. And, oh good, you guys told me it sounded good. And that's wonderful to know. Cool. All right, so let's go through the chord structure. Let's sing a little bit, and then we'll play the solo. Here we go. Where shall I start? I'm going to call out the chords to y'all. So this would, it's like a verse, and then the chorus is the hey hey part. We have a 1 chord, G, to the 4. Sorry, we can go through it a couple times. 1, 1, 1 to the 6, to the 4 for 2, to the 6 for 2, to the 5 for 2. Solo. Hope y'all like it. I hope you like the solos I've been picking lately. All right, so I talked about the intuitive phrasing. We have some really cool concepts to discuss today that we have not discussed before. And if you're just joining us for the first time, you might enjoy checking out the previous guitar hangouts to see what we've talked about. And I'm going to play the solo slowly, nice and slow. Play along with the chords to get used to this chord structure. Admittedly, the chords are a little bit different from how the Osborne brothers did it, but we'll just stick with how Tony did it. And like I said, I have to back it up to know where I am to this 5 chord. Hey, hey. humidity. I'm going to slow it down even more. So let's start going into some micro detail. This is going to be super fun. I'm excited about it. Please make sure you ask some questions if you have any. I'm glad it sounds good. I'm getting some comments here about the sound, and that's good to know, especially from the likes of Billy Wolf. Awesome. So those pickers who studied Blue Ridge Cabin Home, and I'm recognizing some of them in the comments, will be surprised and possibly happy to know that the first two phrases are pretty much identical from last week. And as I made that realization when I was looking at this solo, like I said, I learned from this also, because I learned these solos a long time ago when I lived in Colorado. I learned them at high speed from a boombox. And I wore out the rewind button, and I was hearing them at high speed. So now that there's technology to slow down and look at them again, I'm making a couple realizations, and so we have the same pickup, which is awesome. We're going to be using down up technique today, and what that means, if you're new to bluegrass, we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So just play along with me, and if we skip a beat, we do a ghost note. So like down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I don't know if you can see me, but my hand's still moving down, even though I skipped those notes. So that what I just played for you would be good exercise to try out your down ups. The pickup starts on the end of 1, which means we'll be going 1 and. So we do an upstroke to start on the open. I'm saying D. Of course, it's not D. It's an F sharp. But it'll be easier because your capo is your pretend nut, and then we'll pretend when I say the notes that we'll pretend they're in G. I would think it'll be easier as guitar players to communicate. And sorry if you've joined with a mandolin or a fiddle or a bass. So we'll go 1 and 1 and 2. There's also a rest on that second beat. So we'll do a down, a ghost down for the 1, 1, and then up on the D, and then ghost down. So ghost, up, then ghost down, and then an up on the open G. So that's the end of 2. So 1, 1, up, 2, up, and then immediately down to the 3. That's all the pickup notes, which means those notes all happen before the downbeat of the 1 chord where the solo begins. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just stand right there on the 2nd fret to climb up there. I'm going down on the D, up on the E. That's the 2nd fret, 4th string. Down on the open G, up on the A. That's the 2nd fret, 3rd string. So I think this will make a little bit more sense when we play the actual solo, but get your guitars out and let's play that along together. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and cool. Okay, so we'll move on to the first phrase, phrase number 2. Sorry, it's the first phrase with after the downbeat. And if you're scrubbing through, maybe I'll remember to do this. I'll keep my fingers going so that you can kind of look and see where you are. Same deal as last week. A chromatic little walk up, nice and easy, down, up, down, up, down, up. So down on the open B. I'll play it actually. All of that is the same as the beginning of Blue Ridge Cabin Home. So down on the B, up on the C, down on the C sharp, up on the D, and then pinky goes down on the G. So, okay, now here's where it jumps off a little different from the Blue Ridge Cabin Home. We're going to do an immediate up on the D. So I'll play the phrase for you so you can hear it in context. And this phrase is in this nice G minor pentatonic zone that we've been in the past few weeks, which is just a reminder, open position, G minor pentatonic. Right? If we wanted to add the blue note, the scale degrees are 1, 7, 5, 4, flat 3, 1. We would add the flat 5 right here. That's the D flat, right? Whoops, I forgot to add the, there it is. So that's the zone we're going to be hanging out in. Good chance to review your minor pentatonic scale, right? We are going to, after that chromatic lick, up on the D, and then do an immediate little, that's 16th note pull off, so it only gets one right hand down. So from the second fret, second string, to the first fret, second string, pull off from second to first fingers with only a down. It's subdivided enough that you don't have to do the ghost thing that we talked about. So, see, the next up is going to be that flat 3, the B flat. So that whole phrase again. If you're having trouble hearing it, try to sing it. Do, do, do. Okay, downbeat of the next bar is going to be a down on the first fret. It's the C. What would be the C? Second string. And then we're going to do a slide. As we slide, we're going to do the ghost that we were just talking about. So down on the C, up on the B flat, and then slide up to the 4th fret, 3rd string, and right hand goes down as you do it. Okay? That helps keep the down-up pattern. Good? After you've slid, you'll do an up on the open G. Okay? So let's review that whole phrase. We're going to go nice and slow. We're going to go easy. This is for all levels. Hopefully it's a nice review if you've done this before. And feel free to share with any of your guitar-loving friends. They might get something out of this. And by the way, I've appreciated your feedback this week. Everybody who's written me in the comments, I've appreciated knowing that it's helped. That's the purpose for sure. Okay, so from the beginning of that phrase. That's as far as we are. To finish off the phrase, we're going to do a down on the F, which is the 3rd fret, 4th string, up on the open D, down on the open G, Okay, so that's all that's left. Let's review the entire phrase. Actually, let's review it from the beginning for anybody who's just joining us. We are working on Big Spike Hammer today from Bluegrass Album Band, Volume 3, Tony Rice's solo. Key B, capo 4. So we're going to start on the end of 1. Let's see if we can all do it together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Nice. Now that's a great phrase to be used for future things. Now, if you're thinking, wow, what's the deal? Why did Tony begin the same way? I doubt he even noticed. In fact, I never even noticed before. I view it as language. I view it as, this is part of Tony's language. And, and that's also some of these ideas come from Clarence White. You can hear a lot of this flat 5 and this type of treatment on a very, a major melody. So we're playing a blues scale, we're playing a minor pentatonic, which might seem, at the time, it wasn't used as often. Most people were doing, guitar melodies, more of a major sound. So this was really cool and innovative at its time, and it still sounds cool, which is why we're sitting here today in 2020, still checking it out and really enjoying it. But one reason I really wanted to talk with y'all today about this solo is because Tony, he comfortably, this solo kind of comfortably lives in 3 different scales, and it's really cool for that reason. We started with that minor pentatonic sound, that blues sound, and we're actually going to head over right now to another zone, because we're going to the 6th chord, and so we're going to do an up. I'll play it for you. So that's the next thing, kind of outlining. Okay, so now we're heading into the minor pentatonic of E minor, okay, which is the same exact notes as the G major pentatonic scale. So at the risk of losing some people, which I hope I don't, I'd love to just look at those positions real quick and make sure that y'all understand what I'm talking about. So the pentatonic is pent, right? It's 5 notes. And for the minor pentatonic of E minor, we already did G minor. You've got the E, and then you've got the flat 3, the G, and then you've got the open A as the 4, and then you've got the 5, B, and then the flat 7, D, and then back to the 1. Okay? You guys probably recognize this position. If you've played guitar before, this is probably one of the first things you've learned. Up here, we'll keep going. E, open G, and you've got your A, and then you got your B, and you got your D, and then you got your E, stop. And then if you wanted to hit the flat 3, go right there. Okay. So because this solo has a 6 minor in it, obviously Tony's going to kind of change gears and move to that minor sound there. And I just wanted to point out to you that here's the blue note right there. It's the flat 5. It would be a B flat if this were E minor. Right there's the blue note on this octave. 3rd string, 3rd fret. That's the backdrop for the E minor and the licks that go with that. And I'd like to talk about, if you start on the G, you're going to get the same notes are going to give you the G major pentatonic. Okay, starting on the G, ending on the G. 5 that we were playing in E minor is now becoming the flat 3 of the G major pentatonic. So literally the exact same notes, and it's going to give you a lot of mileage here. So G, major pentatonic, just to clarify, it's not the same scale degrees. It's the chord tones plus the 2 and the 6. So, or you can look at it as a major scale minus the 7, minus the major 7, and minus the 4. So looking at the scale tones, we've got G, B, D, right? G, B, D. And we're going to add the 2. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Back to the 1. Okay? So here's our flat 3. Recognize that from the E minor? It's the exact same notes. So getting this in your brain, the sounds in your brain, and under your fingers are going to really help you out. G major pentatonic is super flexible. It can be used, whether if you're on a 4 chord, for example, it won't matter. You won't have to necessarily worry too much about what key you're supposed to be in and whatnot, because there's no 4 and there's no major 7. So why does this matter? Why am I spending so much time on this? Is the G major pentatonic really that relevant to this? Okay, I think it is, because, for example, do you recognize that's kind of that Doc Watson sound? That's the backdrop of bluegrass guitar for many, many years. So this is nothing new. So there's your G major pentatonic sound. And I can almost hear you asking, why is there a flat 3 in there? I thought that was a minor sound. And my answer to that is, what I just played is, that's a happy sound. That's not the same sound as that G minor pentatonic sound. It's a different sound. So it's okay. Just be patient with yourself if you don't have all of this yet under your fingers and under your ears. It's more of a concept and an awareness that we need to know. And I'm just using the solo as an example for a jumping off point for gathering up some awareness of the guitar and good musicianship in general. I mean, this concept can be used on the piano, on the mandolin, on anything you play. Okay, so back to the detail of the solo, and thank you for letting me divert there. We're going to lead to the 6. So we just played this much. Okay, so now we're going to go up on the and of 4, and then down on the open D, and then up on the B, and down on the D. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of outlining an E minor chord there. So that's up on the 4th string. I'm so bad at this, is like tab for me. Up on the 4th string, 2nd fret, down on the open D, 4th string, and then up on the 2nd fret, 5th string, and then down on the open D. Okay? Now here's the flat 5 of the E minor I was talking about. We're going to do an up on that. We're going to pull off, and as we pull off, this is 5th string, 1st fret. So up, ghost down, pull off to the open A. We're going to do a ghost down, up, down, and then up on the G, and then down on the A, and then up on the G again. Okay, so that whole little thing is, okay, so that's Tony, typical, as we talked about last week, preparing us for the 6th chord. This is one super fun thing about learning Tony solos, is he doesn't wait for the chord to hit and be like, oh, whoops, now I need to play, 6 minor. He's always kind of looking ahead, and he's already outlining that 6th chord before it happens. The band, Todd Phillips, he's doing a walk down to get ready for the E minor. So everybody's gearing up, heading that way. And When we get there, here it comes. We're just gonna hit the root. And he's gonna chill for a sec and then do a strum on the end of 2. Root. So we have a root with a down, ghost up, ghost down, and then a strum. Down, up. So let's do all of, this has all been phrase 3, sorry. All of phrase 3, again, is starting on the end of 4 of the previous. I just clicked my tongue on the downbeat so you could hear that. Okay, and I do another ghost for the 3 and 4. Okay, so that's nice and intuitive. We're just kind of outlining the E minor chord, and then we're going to chill for a sec on that, 6 minor chord. So for anyone just joining us, I'll just back it up. I'll play what we've gotten to so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2. Now we're going to head up to the 4 chord. Just checking to see if I all have any questions so far. I'm enjoying this, hopefully as much as you are. I love talking about Tony Rice. We're going to walk up to the root of the 4 chord, which is 4 chords of C. And we're going to do a down on the A, up on the B, so down on the 5th string, up on the 2nd fret 5th string, and then down on the root. And this is a C run. So there we are, getting ready again for the 6 minor. Okay, so we're going to do a C run up, kind of a C run down. It does feel like some of the C runs we've done in previous weeks, and that's great. It's showing us again what language is like. Sometimes when I speak, I use the same words to convey the same idea. That doesn't mean I'm not, improvising as I speak. So, and it's the same with some of this Tony language. We might find some recycled phrases, and the more you do them, the more you'll be familiar with the language in that way. So, up on the open D, down on the flat 3, up on the E, down on the G, down up on the A, and then down on the root. So this is one of the Tony Rice C runs. C run is usually outlining the chord tones. C, E, G. So he likes to walk up with the flat 3 to that 3rd. And there's your 6 again. And hey, we just talked about major pentatonic. Here's a great example. We're just running up the major pentatonic scale with the flat 3. Okay. And then he goes. So that's kind of a G lick, kind of an E minor lick. It's getting us ready for the 6th chord. We're going to do an up on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, B flat. And then as we slide down to the 2nd fret, we're going to do a ghost down. So up, down, up on the open G. Then we have a down on the E, up on the open D, down on the G. So that whole little bit. Okay, so let's start at the top of phrase 4 here. That's what we've done so far. And then we're going to go. We're just going to lead simply and comfortably to that 6 minor. So we're gonna do an up on the open D, and then we're gonna hammer it on to the E, 2nd fret, 4th string, and then up on the G, and then we're gonna do a simple down with no hammer on the 6 minor, just the 6. So the band, that's where the band hits the 6 minor. Da, da, 4, 4, 6. That's how the chords are. Okay, so on the 4th beat of that 6 chord measure, we are going to do a pull off from the E to the D. So 4, and that's a down, ghost up. We did a pull off. Can y'all see okay? Let me know if y'all can see or can't see. Down on the 2nd fret, and then ghost up with my right hand as I pull off. Okay? And then I'm just going to hit a open G. Okay, so this will feel familiar. This is the same walk up as the intro. And we actually go straight into it, from that 6 minor we were just on. So as usual, he's getting ready for the next thing. He's using the 2nd bar of 6 minor to get ready for that next 1 chord. So from the top of the 4 chord, that might feel comfortable to look at. 2, 3, 4. 1. I don't think I need to go over the micro detail on the pickup. It's the pickup of the whole solo that you'd be doing. And then you get to repeat phrase 1 as well. And then all of that. And that. Wow, that's all the same. Sweet. I'm enjoying this guitar today. I think the humidity of this spring has made my guitar a little happier than usual. Do you need me to get closer? Okay, so you just got a freebie. All you do is repeat the intro and phrase 1, the pickup notes and phrase 1 for the beginning of that second part of the solo. So I'll start on that 4 again to show you where we are. 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... That's the next thing. Okay, so visualize your G triad right here. This is a first inversion. I've talked about this one. G, B, D, 1, 3, 5. Here's, if you left off that one and put it on top, that means we've inverted it. We inverted it. So we took the root from here and we put it with our finger here. It's kind of like the bottom of an F chord, right? But move it up. That helps you to see it. Okay? If I'm close enough. Let me know if I'm not. Or let me know if I'm too close. I did brush my teeth. Okay, so we're just going to outline that. We're going to slide up to the 3rd. So as usual, we do an up with our right hand, and as we slide, we do a ghost down. We slide up 2 frets. Slide from the 2nd fret, 3rd string, to the 4th fret, 3rd string. So up, ghost down as I slide to the 4th fret. Okay, and then I'm going to grab with that upstroke, I'm going to grab the root up here, the tonic. Okay, so you're visualizing that triad. You're not playing the triad, but that's showing you where you are. When we learn these solos, the purpose is not to have a memorized recital piece. The purpose is to broaden our musicianship and explore the guitar and see the guitar and see patterns and see how Tony uses patterns and chords and triads and scale tones and then learn to be creative ourselves, not to go around sounding like Tony Rice clones. That's definitely, well, that's not my purpose. Maybe that's somebody's purpose, I'm not sure, but just speaking for myself, I just do it because I love it and I enjoy just seeing, what he does. And I don't try to reuse his material in my own solos. I just try to learn from it to be more creative. Okay, so we did. So just to put that in perspective, we did. So we're going to slide back down. We're going to slide from 4 to 2. And that's going to get it down. And that's also going to have a ghost up on the slide. So down, ghost, up, down, down, ghost, down on the open G. So again, up on the A, ghost, up, down, ghost up, down on the open G, and that goes by really quickly. So, and then of course, that's how fast Tony would play. So, and then that's the next part. So getting ready for the 6 minor again. Slide that triad phrase. Okay, so that open G is where the 6 minor chord hits. So 6 minor hits right there. Okay, so we have for the 6 minor chord there, we have a down on the open G, 3rd string. We're gonna do an up on the open D. And then we're going to do a hammer on onto the 2nd fret 4th string with a ghost down as we hammer. So down, up, ghost, up on the G, and then down on the 6th, the E, 2nd fret 4th string. And then I'm going to do a couple ghosts as I wait for the end of 4 for that. So that whole measure of 6 minor sounds like this. Down on the G, up on the D. Ghost, ghost, ghost. Oh, sorry. Ghost, that. Down, up, down, up. Ah. Am I getting messed up? Sorry, doing it this slow sometimes messes me up. It is the end of 4. So there's down on the E, up, down, and then up on the E again to get ready for the 4 chord. Okay, and I didn't do my fingers for the phrases, but now we're on phrase 6. And we're going to go into the 4 chord. So that's the 4 chord phrase is going to sound like. So for anybody just joining us and for everybody who's been working hard at this, I'm going to start the solo from the beginning just to give us some perspective of where we are. So let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. that 4-chord phrase. So here we are at the end of 4, at the end of that 6th chord, and now we're going to do. Okay, so the downbeat is going to be that open D of the downbeat of the 4 chord. Ghost, down with the right hand, and a pull off with the left hand. And then up on the C, and then down on the open D. Up on the E flat, 1st fret, 4th string. And then it goes down on the open D, up on the C. So he plays the 3rd and the flat 3rd. And then he's going to do a C run. So let's try that again. Okay. So if you need some detail on that, I will happily give it to you. It is, we already did the detail on this. Down on open D, up on the 1st fret 4th string, pull off to the open D, right hand goes down, up on the C, down on the open D, up on the E flat, down on the E, up on the G, down on the A, sorry. So yes, he does pull off that A to the G. So C run again is down on the D, up on the E flat, down on the E, up on the G. We're going to put our down on the A, and then we're going to pull off to the open G. Right hand does a ghost up as we pull off, and then down on the C. Okay? Okay? So next time I'll play ahead to the next phrase. So that's leading us to the 6 minor. Ah. So after that C, we do an up on the G, and then play A with the down. Hammer on. G, goes right hand as it goes down as we hammer onto the A with the 2nd finger. Okay, so we did an up on the C, on the root. Okay, next thing is down on the A, and then up on the G, and then down on the E. There's our 6 minor, right? And now I'm going to go. So that's kind of a 5 lick, isn't it? So here's what's kind of fun about that. The 5 chord doesn't actually hit until that open D, that 4th string. So typical Tony, he's getting ready for the 5 chord, and I love that about him. It's I wish I could think ahead that way. So that's the lick. So we're going to hammer from the D to the E, down on the D, ghost, then down on the G, and then immediately. So after we do the down on the open G, we're going to do an immediate up on the open D. So, and then there's a ghost down as you wait. Ghost. Hit the open G with your next up, and then down on the A. Okay? And we're gonna visualize this D here, right? F sharp, A, D. Because you can see it, right? You can see how he's playing the fifth, and he's hammering from the third to the major third, flat third to the major third of the D chord. Okay, so let's make sure everybody has that. Down on the A, up on the G, down on the third fret, third string. It's F, the F, and then right hand does a ghost up as I slide to the F sharp. What would be the F sharp? And then down on the root. Okay. And like I said, that's where the five chord hits on that D. Okay. Go ahead and grab this high D here. It's the third fret, second string. No hammer on. Okay, we're just going to hit it twice. Down goes down. And here he comes during the 5 chord, getting ready for the 1 chord and playing a big old fun ending Tony Rice minor pentatonic, awesome, cool ending lick. So we'll get into that now. So let's play up to where we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So here comes the ending lick. So cool. Okay, so we did 2 downs on this D here. And then for your ear's sake, I'll let you know where the G chord actually hits. G chord hits right here on that, in the middle of that slide. That when we hit that major third, G chord hits right there. So make sure you guys practice with some sort of rhythm track. I'm going to provide a rhythm track at the end of this, and I want you to try to listen for that, because one common problem I've noticed when students memorize this as a string of notes rather than hearing it over the chords, and then they have a really hard time when they're with real live people trying to pull off the lick or pull off the material because they're not necessarily hearing it. So it's really important to be hearing where each phrase hits with the chord. All right, so here we go. We did the down, 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 and now we're going to do a down on the G, and then an up on the 7, which is the F, first fret, first string, down on the flat 5 with second finger, up on the 3rd fret, second string, the D. So D flat, D, down on the F. Okay, so up on the D, and now we're going to do one of those quick little pull-offs where we don't have to do a ghost. Down on the D flat, straight to the C, and then up on the B flat. So, okay. Okay, so he hits the C and the B flat twice. That type of thing can confuse people if they haven't gotten the phrasing down. then the second time he does it, he's going to slide. And that's going to be the downbeat of the 1 chord. So, don't get confused. Just give yourself the gift of patience with this. I realize that this phrasing, for some people, if they're just starting out with Tony Rice material or Clarence White, it's a little bit foreign, and that's okay. The worst thing you can do is get impatient with yourself or practice for 5 hours, and then your ego chimes in, oh, I'm not good yet. You can't listen to the ego on this stuff. Music is not linear. It's not like a math problem. It doesn't take logic so much as lots of drilling and lots of time and lots of patience. So these ending licks of Tony Rice's can feel a tiny bit confusing if you're not used to this sound, and he does a lot of repeated notes. So if you miss like one note, you get off the beat and you get a little confused. Okay, so once again, we have down, down, down on the G, up on the F, down on the D flat, up on the D, down on the F, back to the D with an up, down on the flat 5, the D flat. I'm pulling off from the 2nd to 1st fret on the 2nd string, down, up on the B flat, 3rd fret, 3rd string, down on the C, 1st fret, 2nd string, up on the B flat, 3rd fret, 3rd string, ghost down as I slide to my major 3, and that's where the 1 chord hits, right? And then an open G with an up. If you need to stop there, give yourself a breather. Maybe the following week come back and learn the rest. It's all good. Do it at your own pace. The key is just keep at it. Never give up. That stopping point, we do an up on the open G, down on the F, the flat 7, up on a D, down on the open G. Okay, that's what that little bit sounds like. And then, so we did the down on the open G, up on the F, down on the open D. On that. Okay, so the next thing is the up on the flat 3 and pull off to the 2. So up on the B flat, goes down to, and then an up on the G. 1st fret, 5th string, up with your right hand. Goes down with your right hand as you pull off. Then an up on the G. 3rd fret, 6th string. I'm not a tabber. And then we get to do our G run. Oh wow. What's a G run? We're just outlining a G chord with some connecting notes. And we're going to do it with a 6 this time. Sometimes he does it with a 7. Listen for that. There's a big difference in the sound. Okay, so here's the detail on the G run. Ready? Down on the A, up on the 1st fret, 5th string, and then we slide and do a ghost down with our right hand, slide up to the 2nd fret, and then up on the D, down on the E, 2nd fret, 4th string, pull off with a ghost in your right hand, and then down on the G. Whew, good solo. I know it took a little longer than usual to get through all the detail, but I was trying to show you guys some of this. I was trying to show you the worlds this solo kind of inhabits. It's a nice exercise in the E minor pentatonic and how easily it lives here with the G minor pentatonic. We don't really notice there's any sort of switch, and that's That's part of Tony's genius. He is he's such a master of phrasing, but also of not just sticking in any one, you know, scale scale pattern for long, and just kind of keeping us on our toes with what's going to happen next. And on top of that, this solo is comfortable to hear. It's easier to hear. There's some more pauses, and we can hear the chord structure within it. And so let me give you a rhythm track, nice and different tempos to practice with. I'm going to see if there's any questions. And by the way, I did put a tips. I was hoping to give Tony some tips for this solo. I didn't want to take personal tips for what I'm doing, and I appreciate that y'all are getting something out of this. So I was hoping, you know, people just don't make royalties like they did. It used to be if you were learning this solo, you'd go out and buy Bluegrass Album Band Volume 3 just to hear the song and practice the solo. But you know, people would happily spend $15 to do that. And now somebody might stream this track 100 times as they're learning it, and Tony's still making like 10 cents, which is kind of sad. I don't know the exact math on that, by the way. That's kind of a guesstimate. Okay, so we'll go through it. Let's sing Hey Hey Delamay, kind of loop it at various tempos, nice and slow. Hey, keep it going. We'll just bump up the tempos for you to practice with as you're getting good at it. Get ready for your solo. Here we go. Nice work. Keep bumping up the tempos if you have any sort of time warping software on your phone, and you can create a rhythm track for yourself. I'm happy to somehow get you my mandolin track I made. Actually, I think I was supposed to tell you what was pre-recorded from this. Facebook put up a little thing. That's pre-recorded mandolin tracking that I made. Like I mentioned, I'm having a blast hanging out with you guys talking Tony Rice. And I really appreciate if somebody, if you have a couple bucks to contribute for tips for Tony for sharing this material with the world. This is such a wonderful treat to get to listen to get to play, to get to study, to get to examine. And I think you'll enjoy, as you do more of these, the language will start to become your own and twist it and turn it in whichever way you see fit. Tony Rice would never probably want people to be clones of what he does. He appreciates creativity as much as we all do, but he's such a great person to study, to examine, creativity and mastery. And like I mentioned, I really would appreciate it if you would give yourself a little bit of patience. That's my number one complaint with some of my teaching experiences is the frustration some people allow themselves to feel. So we watched Happy Gilmore last night. Anybody ever seen that with Adam Sandler? He gets so frustrated, and when he goes to his happy place, you need to go to your happy place. This needs to be fun, and if it's not fun, it's only you can make it fun. You can find a way to make your practice sessions fun for yourself and rewarding and enjoyable. And my suggestion for that would be to bite off smaller chunks than you think you can take in, and then master those and feel good and have fun and enjoy mastering those and enjoy the process, because there's really no end point with guitar. Guitar's always use it or lose it. Got to keep doing it every day. If you can't do it every day because you have obligations, then do it as much as you can. And there's no race. There's no need to compare yourself to anybody. It's all just, a feeling of personal broadening, of gaining musicianship. So thank you for participating today. Thanks for all of your wonderful comments last week. I really enjoyed reading them. I will be back on Friday, is my current plan, at 4 p.m. Central. And I hope everybody has a wonderful Father's Day tomorrow. Whether you're a father or not, you have a father to celebrate. And we just, we have a lot to celebrate, even though we've been through a lot as a world lately. I'm just glad that, we're all here and able to connect like this. So thanks again, and I can't wait to see you again on Friday. Bye for now.